Batting first is the DH from Jackson, Ohio, number 1, Derek Stout. Batting second from Massapequa, New York is number 41, Keegan McElligott. In the third spot from Waven, Massachusetts is number 34, Cooper Tarley. Batting cleanup and playing left field from Palmyra, Pennsylvania is number 26, Aiden Willard. Batting fifth and playing second base from Olean, New York is number 20, Thomas Bates. In the sixth spot behind the plate, the catcher from Bethlehem, New York is number 52, Brian Carruthers. At first base, batting seventh from Oakland, Maine is number 32, Denny Martin. Batting eighth and playing the hot corner at third from Roxbury, Massachusetts is number 2, Aramis Romero. Batting ninth is the center fielder from Cherry Hill, New York, number 30, Grant Fournier. And batting 10th is the extra hitter from Houston, Texas, number 12, Dana Williams. On the bump for the Oilers today from South Portland, Maine is number 36, Hudson Iaquesa. The Oilers are coached by Mike Freehouse. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the reserves for the Olean Oilers. And now, fans, please give a warm welcome to tonight's in-stands host. She's not only making the ballpark shine tonight, but she also loves her team like no other. Give it up for Miss America!
All right, guys, I need you to be extra loud, okay? Who's excited for some American baseball? Love to hear it. We got some fun games and some t-shirt giveaways tonight, so we hope you enjoyed the game, and go American!
Let's hear it for Miss America! Good to see you, Miss America. And now, fans, we need you to make as much noise as you can as we introduce tonight's starting lineup for the Niagara Falls Americans, joined by the baseball buddies from Cayuga Heat 12U. Batting first and playing center field from Essex, Vermont, number 18, David Harris. Batting second from Sunnyvale, California is the shortstop, number 27, Justin Gladfelter. In the number 3 spot is the DH from Shavertown, Pennsylvania. Put your hands together for number 3, Dominic Zangardi. Batting in the cleanup spot is the left fielder from Clarence Center, New York, and a fellow Niagara University Purple Eagle, number 15, Matt Ganchow, whose mom makes great cookies, by the way. Batting fifth is the right fielder from Chicago, Illinois, the X-Man, Xander Clark. In the 6th spot is the extra hitter from Syosset, New York. It's number 23, Vince Favada. Batting 7th from Cornelius, North Carolina is the first baseman, number 49, Mike Sabella. In the 8th spot and behind the plate for the Americans from Sanborn, New York is the catcher, number 20, Nick Pass. Batting 9th and playing third base.
What?
Baseman also from California, from Monterey, is number 14, Alexander Glasscock. On the bump for the Americans from Buffalo, New York is number 36, Aiden Moroz. The Americans are joined by bat boy Alexander Abel and are led by head coach Will Cordero. Their associate head coach is Paul Wolf, the assistant coach is Dan Brick, and the Americans' official team trainers are from D'Youville Athletics. We are also joined by our baseball buddies from New York Stingers 8U Black and Cayuga Heat 12U. And also, put your hands together for the reserves for your Niagara Falls Americans. And now, fans, we ask that you stand and remove your caps as we honor our countries with the singing of O Canada and the national anthem. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Hey, fans, we've got a special tradition here at the ballpark. It's time for the ceremonial first pitch.
On a bright and sunny Saturday, 7-11 day, it's time for baseball. The Niagara Falls Americans and the Olean Oilers, the third time these two teams will face off this season, but this time the second time right here at Sal Maglie Stadium. Good evening and welcome to the American Sports Network. My name is Tom Rook, and I'm joined alongside Ethan Duncan for this great matchup of the Americans and the Oilers. Ethan, welcome in.
Americans looking for their first win in a while. They've lost 10 in a row. A little bit of a losing streak here for Olean. Held them for the Pioneers on the 8th and the 10th, 11-7 and 4-2. So both teams looking for the wins. Americans certainly looking for one. Haven't won in the month of July yet. Looking to get it here on a beautiful Saturday, as you mentioned here, Tom.
Yeah, the Americans coming into tonight 9-22 on the year, 6-10 here at Sal Maglie Stadium versus 3-12 on the road. Like you mentioned, have not won a game yet in July. They've lost their last 10. The Oilers have lost their last 2, 11-16 on the year, 5-7 at home, 6-9 on the road. These teams have played against each other twice. Olean has taken both matchups, but it's a Saturday at Sal Maglie Stadium, which means it's Aiden Moreau's day. He's on the mound today for the Americans, has pitched the past couple Saturdays. That brings us right into first the Olean starting lineup, as they are the first hitting team tonight. Leading off for the Oilers is Derek Stout, one of the two Olean mid-season All-Stars. Keegan McElligott will bat second. Cooper Tarley batting third, playing right field. Aiden Willard out and left. Thomas Bates, the second mid-season All-Star from Olean, will bat fifth and play second base. Brian Carruthers, just joining this team, has only played one game this year. Now in his second, will be behind the plate. Denny Martin over at first. Armanis Romero at third base. Grant Fournier out in center. Dana Williams, the extra hitter. And Hudson Iaquesa on the mound for Olean. So Moreau's against Stout. Stout will lead things off now for the Oilers against Aiden Moreau's. First pitch of the ball game is a fastball on the outside corner, called a strike. 0-1.
arguably the best pitcher on this Americans team. 4.7 ERA, 2-1.
Pitch outside, misses. Now even at 1.
Able to beat the Muck Dogs. The Americans are only win against the Muck Dogs on the 20th, 15-4. Went 7 innings. Also got the win against the Ironbacks.
Chop to the left side, fielded by Rowell, going across the diamond, and there's one quick out for the red, white, and blue. A pretty sight to see when that out is made on the left side of the infield. 3 errors in a single inning last night just from that left side of the infield, but 8 errors in the ball game. So good to see a defensive play made for the red, white, and blue.
Americans looking for a solid inning and game defensively after that quick out.
So that'll bring up Keegan McElligott. Batting from the left side against the righty Rose, who dots a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1.
Last 2 starts from Rose, hasn't gotten a win, was sort of hit around against Jamestown, gave up 3 runs. Had a no decision.
Inside misses.
And had a no decision on July 4th, a game he wished he'd won 1 inning scoreless against the best team in the West Division. Just relief pitching for the Americans really cost them and cost him of a win. Looking to do it here against Olean.
That one swung on and missed, so now Moreau's quickly ahead, 1-2. Moreau's a guy that went to Anna Maria this past year, but unfortunately the college has closed down, so now Moreau's looking for a new place to play next collegiate season. Doing a lot of pitching this summer for the Americans, but looking to be a two-way guy in college. Here's the 1-2, bounce to the left side. Gladfelter will field, go across the diamond, and get him by a step. McElligott is retired for the second out of the inning.
Talked about those issues on that left side of the infield. 2 plays to that left side of the infield, both perfect throws to Sabella. Americans rolling here as it brings up Cooper Tarley.
So Cooper Tarley stepping in from the right side. Here against Moreau's, who's retired the first 2 guys. Pitch to from Moreau's, misses upstairs. 1-0. Tarley's reached base safely in every game he's played this year. 20 games. Recorded an RBI in 4 out of the last 5. Now batting third tonight here against Hayden Moreau's. Here's the 1-0. Inside, gets the call, now 1-1.
We saw a tiny strike zone yesterday, Tom. You know that pitch wouldn't have been called a strike yesterday, but nice run today as Moreau's gets the call.
Yeah, very tight zone yesterday at Newark for the Americans pitching staff. Here's the 1-1 to Tarley, chop foul behind home. Now 1-2. Rose working out of the windup awful quick, ahead in the count 1-2 here against Tarley, who's playing right field tonight for the Oilers, wearing the red and black. Here's the 1-2, fastball, that one's skied towards the middle of the field. David Harris coming out from center, Gladfelter out from short, who's under it, and he makes the play for the third out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Moreau's, and the Americans are coming to bat here in the bottom of the first at South Maglie Stadium. The Niagara Falls Americans transform society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency, serving Western New York since 19...
Off after he had a game off yesterday in center field. Justin Gladfelter staying at shortstop despite the errors he had yesterday. Dominic Sangardi batting third. DH, Matt Ganshaw back in left. Xander Clark back in right field. Vince Vada staying as the extra hitter. Sabella staying at first base. Another day off for Adam Weiss. Nick Past catching again. Cooper Rowell at third. And Alex Glasscock at second base. So David Harris back in the lineup, as well as Matt Ganshaw, 2 mid-season All-Stars for this red, white, and blue squad. Harris, Mr. Consistent in the leadoff spot tonight. First pitch from Iaquesa is in there. Called strike 1. Hudson Iaquesa out there on the mound tonight for the Oilers. All the way from South Portland, Maine. Attends school in Easton, Mass. At Stonehill. Misses inside with a curveball. Now 1-1. Harris bats from the left side against the lefty Iaquesa.
Currently riding a 14-game on-base streak. 1-0 outside, now 2-1. You talk consistency about David Harris hitting .462 on the season. 14-game on-base streak, also a 9-game hitting streak. He's 8 for his last 15. That one's sky down the line, but foul. Now count is even at 2 to Dave Harris. Count is even at 2. Pitch from Iaquesa, fastball, bounce to the left side. Harris down the line, going to be a close play, and he's out by about a half a step. Keegan McElligott throws him out for the first out of the inning.
Harris certainly someone who gets on base a lot. Made it close, but grounds out. Brings up Justin Gladfelter, who only reached via the walk yesterday. Looking to get on base, had on base yesterday with 5 walks. So 4th of Adam Weiss's total as the league leader, and as is the team leader, and certainly catching up here is Gladfelter.
The 0-0 from Iaquesa, taken for a strike. Now 0-1. Yeah, Gladfelter 5 walks last night, the most by an American this season in a single game. Actually had his first steal last night as well in July. He's got 21 on the season. Also was caught stealing last night as well. Here's the 1-1 to Gladfelter, driven out to left center. That'll fall for a base hit. Coming over is Willard. Plays it on a couple of hops, and Gladfelter reaches here with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
Hey fans, once again, we're going to ask you not to stand by the fence.
Nice hit from Gladfelter over the shortstop.
Stand by the fence. Thank you. I know it's a bummer, but it's a safety issue. Now batting for the Americans from Shavertown, Pennsylvania, the DH number 3, Dominic Zangardi.
So here's Dom Zangardi, 5 RBIs, a triple shy of the cycle yesterday for Zangardi. Now batting against the lefty Iaquesa. So 2 out of the 3 top 3 hitters for the Americans, lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch almost hits Zangardi, gets by Carruthers behind the plate, and Gladfelter moves up to second. So the Americans have a runner in scoring position here already in the bottom of the first.
Well, you know what they say, Tom, triple the hardest hit to get in the cycle, just shy of it there, but had a grand slam, able to keep the Americans in that game before that 8th inning disaster.
Iaquesa, 6'4", 205-pound southpaw out there on the rubber today for the Oilers. Pitch to Zangardi, misses up and in. Zangardi does have a triple on the year, but just couldn't get one last night at Newark. An unbelievable game, a 30-run game last night, 16-14, the Pilots over the Americans. Now the Americans back on the field today. Count 2-0, Zangardi. Gladfelter off second, a big lead. Pitch to Zangardi, checks his swing, chops it foul towards the Americans' dugout. Now 2-1.
First wild pitch given up by Iaquesa, went 6 innings, only allowed 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts in his win over Geneva. So first on the year, and it got Gladfelter in scoring position.
Only Iaquesa, that's the only outing of the season for Iaquesa, so not a ton of action so far for him. Just his second start tonight. Pitch to Zangardi, swung and a missed. A nice off-speed pitch, moving away from Zangardi, now 2-2. Count 2-2. 1 out in the inning. Gladfelter off second, a big lead. Zangardi swings and misses for strike 3, so there's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Matt Ganschow.
Now batting the left fielder from Clarence Center, New York, number 15, Matt Ganschow.
Something that Zangardi's been struggling a little bit with as of late. He's got a strikeout now in 6 of his last 7 games. And that'll bring up Ganschow. So Gladfelter off second, 2 outs now in the inning. Ganschow the day off yesterday, back in the lineup today out in left field. 0-0, taken outside, now 1-0. Ganschow riding a 4-game hitting streak. Currently 6th for his last 13 at the plate.
Get you 0 for 6 though versus the Oilers this year. Gets to record a hit and looking to drive in Gladfelter at second.
Count 1-0. Ganschow ahead. Pitch from Iaquesa. That one's driven out to center. Back goes Fournier. Now takes a step or 2 in, and the lefty hauls it in for the third out of the inning. So in the inning, the Americans scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave one runner left on base. Played a full inning here at Sal Maglie Stadium. Still no score, but a good sight to see the Americans getting a runner in scoring position there at the bottom of the first.
Would like St. Gardy or get you to move the runner over, but no dice.
So Moreau's back out there for his second inning of work. On the mound for the red, white, and blue. Moreau's been a good force out there, throwing the second most innings this year for the Americans. Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Casella Waste Systems for their ongoing support. Casella provides residents with professional waste control and garbage pickup in Niagara Falls that is extremely sustainable. They also offer commercial dumpster rentals for construction and other cleanup needs. Contact Casella now at 716-637-4843 to receive a price quote on garbage pickup. Also, all home games this year, Sal Maglie Stadium. You can throw out your garbage in the stadium at any one of our Casella waste baskets along the railing in the concourse or inside the stadium. Now we move to the top of the second as Aiden Willard will lead things off now for the Oilers. The left fielder this evening for Olean. The Americans will travel to Elmira, New York tomorrow to play against the Pioneers in a doubleheader at historic Dunn Field. First time going to Elmira this season. Aiden Willard at the plate now for Olean, riding a 10-game hitting streak. Been a really consistent bat for Olean in their lineup this year. Swung on a miss, strike one. Moreau's ahead with a curveball. Something he does really well is mix in all counts.
That's what you get when you have a good pitcher. It's not relying on the same pitch. Obviously, if you have a good pitch, you can use it, but mixing them up, not knowing what they're going to expect is what a good pitcher does.
Misses up and in with the heater. Now 1-1. Seems like past Moreau's have a real good connection in the battery as that one misses in the dirt. Now 2-1. Pass caught every one of Moreau's starts this summer. Seems like the two of them play off each other well. That one misses. Now 3-1. Moreau's finds himself behind in the count. Pitch, fastball popped up the other way, but out of play for strike two. Willard on the year, 12 RBIs, 7 runs scored, 4 stolen bases in 17 games. But he leads the team in strikeouts with 19. Here's the 3-2 from Rose, inside, called ball 4. So the Olean Oilers have a runner on to lead off the top of the second here against Aiden Rose.
Rose, 19 strikeouts. Just really overpower them with strikeouts so far on the year. 19 strikeouts to 17 walks. So go strikeout then walk, not really known for one more than the other.
Here's Thomas Bates at the plate. Another one of these midseason all-stars on the Olean Oilers squad. Willard off of first. First pitch misses upstairs to Bates. Now 1-0. Bates, Olean's version of Anthony Savino. A little hometown action from Olean, New York. Savino not in the lineup today for the Americans, but the hometown hero here in Niagara Falls. Count 1-0. Pitch from Rose, a fastball in there, called strike. Now 1-1. Bates batting 5th tonight in the Olean lineup, riding a 3-game on-base streak. Has had a good week so far. Was 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a 2-run homer on Monday against the Red Wings. That highlighted his week. There goes Willard off first. Swing and a miss. Thrown on to second is in center field. Gladfelter chases it down and is able to back it up. Heck of a play by Justin Gladfelter to run all the way from shortstop into shallow right center to grab the ball in the overthrow.
Hey fans, you might have noticed that the Seagulls are circling. They are particularly
Huge play from Gladfelter preventing Willard from getting into third.
popcorn in the stands. They can be a little bit aggressive.
Looked like a failed hit and run attempt. Bates swung at a ball completely out of the zone. Now 1-2. Willard off second. Pitch to Thomas Bates. driven out to right field. That should get a runner over. Clark drifts back. He makes the play. And Willard will tag from second to third. So the Oilers get the job done in moving a guy over. A productive out made by Thomas Bates.
So the Americans struggle to do. They had that runner on at second with one out, weren't able to move him over. Stayed there after 2 strikeouts.
Now 1 out in the inning. The Americans will bring the infield in. Very aggressive defensive team with guys at second and third. Has this Americans team been all year, bringing the infield in at any point in the game. First pitch in there, a called strike one. The fastball from Rose to Brian Carruthers, who's only played 1 game this summer for the Oilers. Was 2 nights ago, and safe to say it went pretty well for the Olean backstop. Here's the 0-1 from Rose. Outside misses, now 1-1. Carruthers in that game went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs 2 nights ago against the Elmira Pioneers. Count 1-1. Pitch. That one's driven out to right field. Clark going back towards the track, and he trips him. Looks like Clark's hurt. The ball will fall. 1 run is in Willard. David Harris runs over, makes the play in right. He's going to get it in. Carruthers rounds third, and he's going to score. So it's an inside the park home run for Brian Carruthers. The Olean Oilers take a 2-0 lead, and Xander Clark is down, hurt on the play.
That's a huge injury for Clark, who's been unreal in the outfield. Just played that ball.
Crowd is silent here. Sal Maglie. Hope Xander Clark is okay, but looked like he had it, kind of twisted his hips and something with the knee possibly, not sure. But hope Xander Clark is okay out there. He's still down. Trainer out there quick talking with Clark. David Harris ran all the way over from center to get the ball in, but too little too late, as 2 runs now on the scoreboard for the Oilers, and they lead here in the top of the second. Ryotaro Munakata will trot out and be the defensive replacement for Xander Clark, who you really hope is okay. Had 3 hits yesterday, also 3 walks, was on base all 6 times. Who's still down out there. 1 out in the inning, and the Oilers lead 2-0. Clark, a guy out of Chicago, Illinois, now flips up. Looks like he's going to stand. Going to be helped off the field. No weight on that left leg. Scary sight for Xander Clark, who's going to come off the field now with help from Will Cordero and David Harris. Clark been a really good corner outfielder for the Americans as of late. Batting in any spot in the order. Batted second last night. Didn't even get a spot at the plate tonight to continue his hot streak.
Stuff he would have been due up to start off in that second inning. Ryotaro Munakata, and the Americans have just struggled with the outfield injuries. We saw Derek Jesmondi, who's out with that grade 2 calf strain. We saw Colin Price had a ball fouled off his leg. He's done. So they've brought Xander Clark, who's been excellent in that outfield, primarily in right field. No idea what his timetable is.
Yeah, Jesmondi and Price out for the year. So Clark now not looking too good. He's still coming off. Munakata going to come in for the Americans and play right field. Munakata, a really good game out there in left field last night in Newark. Ran down a couple balls that looked like could have been over his head for extra bases. Now he'll slide in and right.
Sure going to get the ball in plays. He did strike out a couple of times, but certainly saved some runs. I think 16 is a lot. If Ryotaro wasn't in left field, it could have been 20.
Clark coming off. Again, still not putting any weight on that left leg. Could be some sort of knee or ankle injury. But Olean now a 2-0 lead here against the red, white, and blue. In a game that the Americans really need, having lost their last 10, but Olean still fighting for a playoff spot. They're 11-16, a couple spots out of the top 4. As Clark comes off the field, helped by David Harris and Will Cordero. Hope he's okay. Moroz will throw a couple pitches to get loose once again.
From Japan, number 33, Ryotaro Munakata.
So Munakata in right field. Coming up for the Oilers is Denny Martin. That play is going to be scored an inside the park home run. A Little League homer. The Oilers now lead 2-0. And Xander Clark off the field. David Harris will trot back out after helping Clark. And that'll bring up Denny Martin. Martin getting the start at first base tonight for the Oilers from Oakland, Maine. Committed to Stonehill University. Stonehill College in Easton, Massachusetts. Kind of a feeder squad is this Oilers team for Stonehill. Got a couple guys going there as we return back to baseball. First pitch, skied down the third baseline. Rowell headed towards the fence, and it's off the wall, so we won't get there for strike number 1. A long run for Cooper Rowell, just couldn't haul it in. Rose ahead in the count 0-1 here against Denny Martin. Martin ranked the number 2 overall first baseman in the state of Maine in his high school class. Also the 40th best player overall. Count is now 2-1, 1 out in this top of the second. Pitch from Rose, a fastball inside, called strike. That'll even the count at 2. Rose out of the windup, 2-2 count. Pitch outside, misses with a changeup. Rose frustrated with himself, wanted that pitch back.
Yes.
Count now 3-2, full count. Rose out of the windup against the lefty Martin. Pitch. Bounce to the right side. Fielded on the back end by Sabella. Rose over from the mound. Steps on first. Nice play by Aiden Rose covering first.
We saw that a lot yesterday. Sabella at first base. Made a couple plays. Quick 2 outs after that inside the hooker.
Gonna bring up Armani's Romero. Playing third base tonight. Actually slotted at the shortstop position. The last time these two teams met up, Rose now on the mound with 2 outs in the inning. First pitch to Romero outside. Gets a strike call with a fastball. Romero from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Now 0-1 from Rose. Outside, gets the call with an off-speed pitch. Now 0-2.
For that same spot twice.
Rose deals. Fouled straight back. It'll stay 0-2. Romero not gotten a lot of run as of late. He's only played in 3 of the last 11 games for the Oilers after playing in the previous 7 of 11. Just like today, 7-11. Count 0-2. Pitch from Rose. Fastball misses up and away. Now 1-2. Rose, a guy that works quick, but also looks to get ahead at any point in the count. Here's the 1-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. Moroz gets an inning-ending strikeout against Armani's Romero for his first strikeout of the game. But in the inning, the Oilers score 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. The Americans coming to bat here in the bottom of the second, down 2-0 to the Oilers of Olean. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. Back here at Sal Maglie Stadium, it's the Americans, it's the Oilers. And Olean up 2-0. We'll take a look at the Oilers' defensive alignment tonight. Armani's Romero at the hot corner for Olean. Keegan McElligott at shortstop. Thomas Bates, a midseason all-star for this Olean team, at second. Danny Martin over at first. Aiden Willard out in left. Grant Fournier in center. And Cooper Tarley in right. Then Brian Carruthers behind the plate for Olean. Iaquesa on the mound as well. Hudson Iaquesa ranked the #1 left-handed pitcher in the state of Maine in the 2026 high school class by perfect game. That'll bring up Ryutaro Munakata. First pitch, outside corner called a strike. Munakata taking over for Xander Clark out in right field, who has been taken out of this game due to injury. Count 0-1. Pitch to Munakata. Fastball inside corner. Iaquesa quickly ahead 0-2 here against Munakata. Pitch. Iaquesa gets a check swing. Munakata goes around, and he's tagged out for the first out of the inning.
Still yet to get the leadoff runner on, but it brings up Vincent Favado, who was 3 for 4 yesterday. Just getting the ball not on barrel. Going to get the second runner on for the Americans.
That'll bring up Vinny Favada. First pitch is a ball. Now 1-0. Favada been really hot as of late at the plate. Pitch from Iaquesa low. Now 2-0, so good hitters count for Favada, who's riding a 3-game hitting streak. Also 5 for his last 12. Iaquesa out of the windup. Deals to Favada. Fouled straight back. Now 2-1. Count is 2-1. Pitch, Favada, chop foul on the third baseline. Count now 2-2. One out in the inning. A Ryutaro Munakata strikeout. Iaquesa out of the windup. Deals the 2-2. Hit to the right side. Fielded by Bates. He'll go to first for the out. Favada hustling down the line. A hard 90 for the Americans, but can't beat it out as the second out of the inning is made. That'll bring up one of the new guys for this Americans team. Batting from the right side, a switch hitter, Michael Sabella, against the lefty Iaquesa. Pitch. Low, ball 1. Sabella, a big game last night, 1 for 5, but started the scoring in that barrage of runs for the Americans. Swings and misses, now 1-1. 16-14, the Americans lost last night against the Pilots of Newark. And Sabella, a base hit to the left side, through the left side, got the scoring started. His first hit as an American. Here's the 1-1 to Sabella. Low, misses, now 2-1. Sabella getting the start in at first base tonight again. A 6'5", 225-pound catcher / first baseman. Count now 2-1. Pitch, down and in, misses, now 3-1 coming to Sabella. 3-1. Sabella swings, chops it to the left side, fielded on one hand by McElligott, throws across the diamond, pick at first. Denny Martin digs it out. There's the third out of the inning. A 6-3 putout. So the Americans go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second, and the Oilers come to bat against Aiden Rose here at Sal Maglie Stadium. in the top of the third. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Maglie Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Maglie Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. So Aiden Moreau's back out there for his 3rd inning of work, which will bring us to the Americans' defensive alignment tonight for the red, white, and blue.
Matt Ganschow back in left field. Dave Harris alongside him in center. We both didn't play yesterday. Xander Clark was in right field. Will be replaced by Ryutaro Munakata. Cooper Rowell at third base. Justin Gladfelter at short, 2nd straight game. Alex Glasscock at second. Eden Moreau's on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. Sabella at first, and Nick Pass on the mound.
So we're now out here in the top of the 3rd at Sal Maglie Stadium. Munakata trotting back out to right field, who, like you mentioned, came in for Xander Clark. And Grant Fournier will lead things off for the Oilers. Tracking down a baseball earlier in this one. Dana Williams at the plate, hitting in the 10-hole tonight for the Oilers. Here's the 0-1 from Rose. Swings and misses. Now 0-2. Rose does a good job holding runners on. Really quick to the plate with that slide step. Fournier off first. Good lead. Count 0-2. An action count. Good count to run on. More than likely an off-speed pitch. Staying put. Grounded at second. Glasscock fields off his chest. One play at first, and he makes it. Good recovery from Alex Glasscock to get an out on the play. Rose upset. He wanted 2.
Tough from Rose. That's a tailor-made double play ball. Eaten up by Glasscock. You think you should get the forced runner out, but now runner at second with 1 out. And you're already down by 2. That runner at second could be huge.
There's the first out of the inning. Here's Derek Stout. Batting from the right side, the designated hitter tonight for the Oilers. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Bounced to 3rd to lead off the game. Rose out of the stretch. Checks on Fournier out there at second. Pitch. Stout drives that one into center. Coming on Harris, going out. Glasscock. He makes the catch. Gladfelter running out there too, leaving second. Nobody to cover second, but they get the second out.
Glasscock makes up for it. Now 2 quick outs, trying to leave that runner stranded at second.
Gladfelter getting the start at shortstop again, trying to be ultra aggressive, run that one down. But Glasscock underneath it, he makes the play to get some revenge on that bobble earlier in the inning. Bring up Keegan McElligott. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch to the lefty in the dirt. Good block from Pass behind the plate. Now 1-0. Talking with Pass pregame, just recently announced his commitment to SUNY Cortland next year. Played at a junior college in Florida these past few years, but he's really excited playing at a high-level Division III school in Cortland. 1-0 to McElligott. In there, called strike. Pass also mentioned he really likes facing these high-level arms. Teams like Jamestown, Batavia, feels like he gets a better swing off against higher velocity pitching, which he's excited about to face a lot of in Cortland. Count even at 1, 2 outs in the inning. Moreau's out of the stretch, deals upstairs, now 2-1.
Certainly going to see more of that velocity. Cortland last 4 years combined record 77-11. That's an .875 winning percentage. 7th in the country, so certainly is going to see some very talented high D3 arms.
Count is 2-1, 2 outs in the inning. McElligott at the plate against the righty Moroz. Pitch, fastball, ripped down the right field line, but going to go foul. Count is even at 2.
Moroz feels like this inning should have been over earlier with that double play, trying to get out of it here via the strikeout.
McElligott only played in 2 games this year for the Oilers. Check that, 3 games, 4 for 10. He's been on base in all 3 games. Was 3 for 4 in game 1 of the season. Just joining this team now late in the summer. Seen a lot of that across the league. Second half contracts now underway. Here's the 2-2 from Rose. Scott out to center. Dave Harris a couple steps over to his left. Makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, the Oilers get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leave 1 runner stranded. The Americans coming to bat down 2-0 against the Oilers here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nice job from Rose to trail a leadoff runner on in that inning, Ethan.
Rose able to cool it down. Certainly something good to see as he's at 45 pitches.
Yeah, Americans have had a lot of trouble with the pitching depth this year. Last night, actually the last 2 nights, a couple position players having to come in Thomas Marcotte and Alex Glasscock, who have pitched in both games, Batavia and last night in Newark. So hope that doesn't happen tonight. Have to turn it over to some position players, honestly relying on Moroz to even go the distance, which he's done this year. Pitched a complete game earlier in the year against Batavia.
Yeah, we're trying to just go with your starter as long as you can. It feels like issues come when they bring in that reliever. We saw Adam Weiss, who looked good, but came out and they brought up Glasscock, as you mentioned, only played the day prior and was all right, but Marcotte struggled his arm and his pitching, so certainly stuff to see.
So Keegan McElligott made the final out last inning for the Oilers. So they'll have 3-4-5 coming up next inning. But first, the Americans, 8, 9, and 10. Coming up, Nick Pass to lead things off. Behind the plate today for the Americans. It'll be Pass, Rowell, and Glasscock for the red, white, and blue. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. The Oilers lead the Americans 2-0. First pitch to Nick Pass is upstairs. Now 1-0.
Ask your parents what the record is. But please do not stand by the fence that rings the field.
Pitch to Pass, fouled straight back. Now count is even at 1.
Once again, folks, we ask that you do not stand by the fence that rings the field. Again, I know it's a bummer.
Counts even at 1. Nobody out in the inning. Nobody on. Nick Pass leading off the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch from Iaquesa. Bounced down the 3rd baseline. Strike 2. Pass behind. Pass 16 strikeouts in his last 26 at-bats. At the plate looking to break a slump. Here's the 1-2. This is low with the changeup. A really good take right there from Nick Pass.
We've talked about him striking out, swinging a lot. That's a pitch he struck out in the past, but good to hold up and make it a 2-2.
Pitch swings and misses. Strike 3. First strikeout of the inning now for Hudson Iaquesa. Gets passed down on strikes.
Now batting all the way from Jacksonville, Florida is third baseman number 6, Cooper Rowell.
That'll bring up Cooper Rowell. Really good day at the plate yesterday. 4 RBIs, his second 4 RBI game of the year. Both coming against the Newark Pilots. Takes that one inside, now 1-0. Rowell at the hot corner had an error last night as well, but back in the lineup today. Here's the 1-0. Fastball inside, called a strike, now 1-1. Oilers ahead of the Americans. 2 hits for Olean, 1 for the red, white, and blue. They trail 2-0. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch to Rowell. Bounce to the left side. Foul ball. Just barely foul. Rowell had 2 for sure, but now he's behind in the count 1-2.
Yeah, the 3rd baseman nearly got it past the other 3rd baseman there in Romero. Just goes foul and certainly could have been extra bases.
Count now 1-2. Pitch outside, misses from Iaquesa. That'll make the count even at 2. Iaquesa, the number 7 overall prospect out of the state of Maine. Here's the 2-2. Driven down the right field line, out of play, foul. Iaquesa, just his second start of the summer. 6 innings start in his first one. So not a ton of action for the Maine native, but so far so good. Here's the 2-2 from Rowell. Driven into center, coming on Fournier. He won't get there. Played on a bounce. It's off his chest. Rowell rounds first. He's going to stop right there. So it's a 1-out single for Cooper Rowell, reaching in back-to-back games now for the Americans.
Rowell's unlucky is that ball off the glove of Fournier and unfortunately goes right to Willard. I think if it took a bounce behind him, he could have got extra bases, but he'll be satisfied with this single as it'll bring up Alex Glasscock.
So Glasscock all the way from Monterey, California at the plate. Cooper Rowell from the other land near water in Jacksonville, Florida. Pitch to Glasscock outside. Misses now 1-0. So 1 out in the inning. Cooper Rowell off first. Iaquesa on the mound out of the stretch. The lefty against the righty Glasscock. It'll be a 1-0 coming from Iaquesa. Deals. Fastball swung on and missed. Glasscock well behind the heater from the 6'4" left-hander. Iaquesa sitting in the upper 80s. Fastball anywhere from 86 to 89. Here tonight against the Americans. Count 1-1. Deals to Glasscock. A curveball fouled off down near the Olean dugout. Count now 1-2. Glasscock had trouble with the strikeouts so far in his Americans career. Finds himself behind in the count now 1-2. Rowell off first, holding close to the bag. Pitch to Glasscock up and away. Misses now 2-2. Glasscock doing some pitching as of late. He's thrown in the last 2 ball games for the Americans. 6 strikeouts in just his last 3 games, though, at the plate. Rowell off first. Iaquesa gives him a look. Now back to the plate. Deals. Glasscock swings and misses. Another strikeout by Alex Glasscock for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the inning as well for Iaquesa. That'll bring up the top of the order in David Harris.
Huge strikeout. We really want to move Rowell over on a ground ball, but it brings up David Harris, who grounded out his first time up on a bang-bang play to short. One of the best hitters in the PGCBL looking to move Rowell over, put this ball in play.
Harris at the plate in the leadoff spot tonight. Now 2 outs in the inning. Pitch outside. Called a strike. Just getting the corner was Iaquesa. So count now 0-1. Harris at the plate against the lefty. Pitch. Curveball up and in. Fastball, excuse me. Now 1-1. Harris, the guy all the way from Essex, Vermont, plays his collegiate ball at Clarkson University, historic for the engineering program. Harris hitting .462 on the summer, heading into tonight. Got the night off last night. Rowell off first. Count is 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Iaquesa deals to Harris. Harris drives that one out into center. Going out is McElligott. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So Iaquesa works into and around some trouble in a Cooper Rowell 1-out single. The Americans score no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 runner left on base. We played 3 full innings, and it's still 2-0. The Oilers lead the Americans here at Sal Maglie Stadium. You're watching PGCBL Baseball right here on the American Sports Network. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. So Cooper Tarley to lead things off for the Oilers here against Aiden Mrose, who's out there for his 4th inning of work. We're now in the top of the 4th inning. The Oilers lead the Americans 2-0, 2 hits apiece for either ball club. The decider in the game so far, an inside the park home run by Brian Carruthers earlier in the game, and the second gave the Oilers a 2-0 lead. Tarley fouls that one out of play for strike one.
We're going to ask that you do not stand against the fence that rings the field. We've had some pretty hot line drive foul balls that have come off.
Count is 0-1. Mrose ahead of Tarley, who's playing right field, batting third tonight for the Oilers. Mrose out of the windup. Here's the 0-1. Curveball swings and misses. Now 0-2. Tarley struggling a little bit on the road, just hitting 229 away from Bradner Stadium, whereas he's hitting 333 at home. Count 0-2. Mrose ahead of Cooper Tarley. He deals. Curveball in there, called strike 3. Mrose gets Tarley on 3 pitches for the first out of the inning.
2 quick strikeouts from Mrose, both looking so far, so that's how you know you have good stuff, able to freeze a runner.
That'll bring up Aiden Willard, who reached on a walk his first time up in the 2nd inning, then came around to score. Pitch from Mrose in there, called strike. Now 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Misses down and in with a curveball. That'll even the count at 1. Mrose, a guy from Buffalo, New York, so nearby local for this Niagara Falls team. Count 1-1. Deals, fouled off on the left field line. Mrose quickly ahead. 1-2 against Willard. Aiden Willard bats from the left side from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. That'll bring up Thomas Bates, the 2nd baseman tonight for the Oilers. Bates out of Olean, New York. Pitch from Mrose. Bounce to the left side. Coming over. Rowell dives. Can't get there. Gladfelter fields. He'll go across the diamond, but Bates beats it out. An infield hit for the Oilers' 2nd baseman.
Sort of play down the line. Just sort of dove in front of Rowell on that play. 3rd out, 3rd hit here for the Oilers.
Yeah, if the Americans wanted to make a play on that ball, it was Cooper Rowell making a diving play, because a long throw for Gladfelter with his momentum going the opposite direction. So good effort from Rowell and Gladfelter to get over there, but Bates reaches on the infield hit. First pitch from Rose, up and away. Misses now 1-0. Olean, a team that steals a lot of bases with that vault lead that you're seeing take over the game. Kind of a short lead at first, then